Hi everybody, it's Sloan and I am back with the Love Tarot card spread reading. So what I'd like you to do is focus on your relationship, either the relationship you have, the one you want, your current circumstances, your marriage, your dating life, whatever it is in your romantic life. And I want you to focus on card number 1, card number 2, or card number 3. Now I'm going to give you some time, and this time I'm going to put the graphic up with the card. As I said, I like to use the Rider-Waite deck, and I like to use the Herbal deck, which has background like this, where it has rosemary for very healing on the back and ladybugs for information and luck. Each card carries with it an herbal remedy to the situation, to the corresponding tarot card. So I like to work with that because it gives me different ways of looking at the situation when I'm reading the cards. So I know how to help you heal by sometimes the way the herb is manifesting in the reading. So in that sense, I want you to take a look at the cards, of which I'm going to put the graphics up right now, and focus on the one you feel drawn to first. Okay, so I assume you've picked a card. So I'm going to start with card number 1. For those of you that picked card number 1, this is your card, and it is the 3 of Swords, and it looks like this. It looks like a heart with a bunch of daggers through it. So we can all surmise what that means. Sorry for laughing. I always find it amusing when that card comes up because you should see people's faces. They're like, oh no. Anyway, it is the 3 of Swords. What it actually means is, because there are 3 separate daggers affecting the heart area, this is your loved one or the person that you're in love with. There is a herb attached to it called the pleurisy root, which is to clear up the way that one's breath is. So to clear up basically the anxiety, the inability to express yourself because you don't have the capacity. So the 3 of Swords is interesting because it's a compilation of issues within the current relationship that you're in. And it's asking you to step back so you don't do more damage to the other person and or yourself. There can be communication issues, as is referenced by the herb. There is also a tendency to be argumentative and or antagonistic within the relationship, because it's almost like it's a tit for tat. So when somebody says something over here, the next person says something to get even, and it goes on like that, which only causes harm in a relationship. And it's a little bit along the lines of one of you and or both of you being too sensitive to the words and things being said. So taking things extremely personally, which I know is really hard not to do when you're in a relationship with somebody because you're actually in the relationship with them. So when they say something shitty, you're like, obviously you mean to say that because you said it towards me. Now, with the 3 of Swords, the interesting thing is you can step away from the relationship and start to see it for what it is in order to take a deep breath, step back, and actually observe the situation. That's what this card is telling you. So if you've picked number 1 as your love card, first of all, you know the situation that you're in and you know the trouble that you're having. One of the 2 of you and or both of you has a need to be right in the relationship, and the insults are being hurled at each other back and forth, which does not make the other person or yourself feel loving towards each other, which isn't a love relationship. It's actually a battle, and battle has no business in a relationship. So if you pulled 3 of Swords and this is your card and it looks like this, see the sad little heart with the daggers through it? Anyway, if that is the card that you pulled, it's asking you to step back from your current situation and to focus in a different way so that you can see what it is you really want instead of just fists first, because the daggers mean you're in a fight. So it is a romantic fight, but it's not of the loving kind. It's more of the hurling insults and accusations and kind of jabs kind of thing. So you need to remove yourself from that relationship in order to see what you want to have happen in a clearer way. So if you have picked card number 2, and I have it right here, this is your card for your relationship, the one that's going on at the moment, or the one that you're thinking about in your head. And it is the 9 of Pentacles. Now that's interesting in a love relationship because Pentacles or coins are money and work related and how to achieve that. And if you pick the Nine of Pentacles, it has a little bit of a spiritual bent to it. It's asking you to consider, with all the good luck that you're having right now, do you want to bring somebody into your life? So it's asking you a little bit to think about what's important to you in a relationship. Do you want a partner one-on-one? Do you want to wake up beside somebody in the morning in your bed? Or do you want the freedom to continue being successful in the line of work that you're in and not be burdened with a relationship? It doesn't mean that you see it as a burden, but you're hesitant to jump into a relationship because of your good fortune at the moment, which means you are focused very much on your success in your work and that kind of thing. And this card is drawn around it with dark grapes. Now, grapes reference wine and sugar and everything good in life. Grapes are sweet. It's a fabulous fruit. It's a wine fruit. If you drink enough grapes, I bet you can, if you eat enough grapes, I bet you can get drunk, and wine is made from grapes. So people that are doing well in the material world are people that like wine connoisseurs, and tend to follow the pursuit of wine. So do you want somebody to share that with, or do you want to keep going along the path that you're going? So that's what this card is asking you to think about in your romantic relationship. It's asking you to think about what you really want from your love in your life at the moment. So that can only be decided by you, and it can only be decided when you choose and focus on what it is you actually want. Now, I would say with this card, there is a tendency to be a workaholic. So if you can step back from that and actually ask yourself what it is you want from a relationship, then this is the card that's asking you to do that while you're in the midst of making all of the good fortune around you. So once again, if you pick card number 2, you picked the Nine of Pentacles. So I'm going to put that one down. And now we're going to jump to card number 3, our final card choice. And this one's a doozy. I actually pulled 3 cards at once for this one, not on purpose, by accident, but they're meant to happen because there's no accidents, no coincidences, no coincidences. There is just cards. So I'm going to be telling you about the 3 cards that I pulled for card number 3, which is really quite interesting. 3. Okay, so the first card is a good one because it tells me that you're in the pursuit of a relationship. You are wanting to find somebody with which you can have fun, enjoy, and learn about. So this is a new relationship. And it is referenced by the Six of Cups, where you see 2 people, 2 younger people, and they're at a picnic, and one is sharing watermelon with the other person because the herb on this is watermelon. Now, watermelon is very interesting because it is a social fruit, I guess you could say, if there is such a thing. It is a social fruit for picnics and groups and gatherings and summertime and springtime, which is alluding to the time frame of when this new relationship is going to pop into your life. Because if you've picked card number 3, I pretty much guarantee you've picked this card because you're wanting to get into a new relationship, and the timing of that would be probably the end of March on through the beginning of August time frame for you. So I'm going to put that out there if you pick card number 3. And it is a getting to know somebody. So it is having summer fun with them, going to the picnics with them, going to the fair with them, doing that kind of thing over the summer. So card number 3, the first card I picked for that is the Six of Cups. And that's a romantic thing. That's a beautiful thing. And here is the card so that you know what it looks like. I have another card right behind this, and I mentioned it in the money reading, and people freak out when they see it. I like it because it's a card of change. However, in reference to a relationship that you're looking to start, this is interesting because what it's telling me is that you need to let go of certain ideas and beliefs that you've had due to the trauma of a past relationship. And what is that card? I'm going to show you. It is the Tower, and the Tower comes with the garlic. As I mentioned before, if you're going to eat raw garlic to cleanse your system and to get rid of inflammation, what is inflammation on an emotional level but anger and recharged anger at a point of reference in your thinking? So the garlic and the Tower come together because garlic is used to clean the body and to make it more pure and to make the blood flow. Remember, if you're going to eat raw garlic cloves, drink milk with it because it won't burn your tongue as badly. That's just from personal experience over Christmas. But the Tower is there to tell me that you just ended a relationship, which would make sense with the first card because you're looking for a new relationship, but that old relationship is keeping you stuck in the past. So you need to clear out what blocks you as far as your heart chakra romantically and how you think of men or women in relationships in reference to how you're going to have them. And this card, the Tower, is interesting because it is a little bit of a card of control and the undercurrent of control. So you are wanting to free yourself up from those past experiences, which were very negative. However, you have to watch that you don't start behaving in that same manner. So question asked, question answered. And we have a third card pulling up with this, and it is yet another interesting card in reference to a relationship, and it is the Ace of Swords. Now, the Ace of Swords is extremely interesting, and it is paired with the chamomile. So it is paired with the herb chamomile, which is used in anxiety, and it's used in flight and fright. It's used to calm your nerves. It's used after a really frightening airplane ride in which you go through turbulence and you're freaked out. If you don't drink whiskey, you're gonna have chamomile tea. But what does it mean in reference to the Ace of Swords? What it means is you need to calm yourself down. I was going to say calm your ass down in reference to people you date and not jump to conclusions right off the bat. It also means that you need to step back and take stock of what you really want in a relationship. Now, you are not wrong to get triggered by what someone does in the initial stages of dating. If it is a trigger, you are to pay attention, but you are not to go fully at them like a war. So it's a card of balance in reference to a relationship. And chamomile, as I said, is used for anxiety. So when you're dealing in a relationship that gives you a lot of anxiety, you can sometimes react out of fear, which means the other person may take you reacting as being bossy, a bully, aggressive, angry. So this card is asking you to take a step back, to keep yourself on guard, to pay attention to those subtle things that you see, triggers, things you hear, words said to you, but not to react wholeheartedly in an aggressive fashion. So if you picked card number 3 and you have those 3 cards, what we're basically saying is you are beginning to get ready to start a new relationship, but you have to let go of past wounds. And when you do go into a new relationship, you cannot treat that person like you've treated others in the past. So it is to be a new experience seen from the point that we are at now, not where we've been. So hopefully that explains everything for your love cards, your love tarot, and I will be back with yet other tarot readings. Once again, my name is Sloan.